Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Focus with Fido, and today we're gonna be reacting to an interview Emma News has had with this young lady. I think within the week we heard of a body seen floating on the water in the Toucarie area, and upon further investigations, it was announced that the body was of a person 72 years of age, her mom, so to speak, and portions of concrete was found attached to her body, which gives us the anybody would know and say this has a funny feeling to it, and it will seems to be some sort of crime. This can be an accident. It's a crime, obviously, and most likely whoever committed that crime may have interfered with the lady. I'm not too sure. I'm just a speculation and observation, and I'm just thinking ahead of time. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and listen to the interview that Emma News had with the lady, and let's hear what she has to say.
With me is Joan Moses. You may have heard the news, you may have seen the news, perhaps on Emo News or across another platform. Joan mom was allegedly murdered last Monday.
Well, I know Emma News used allegedly murdered, but is murdered. She was murdered, and that's what I am going to say. The lady, the elderly lady, 70 years of age, was murdered. Um, Again, it's a very sad time for Dominica, where we supposed to be protecting the most vulnerable in our communities and in our nation, and this is the end result of a 72-year-old lady being found with concrete portions of concrete attached to her. And I saw a first video of the lady, and she said that her mom suffered from dementia, so she was really and truly a vulnerable person in society, and a person took advantage of that and murdered the lady.
We assume it's on Monday, but she was found at Toucarie Bay on Monday of last week. And this evening we are here with her daughter, and she's going to tell us more about her mother, and she'll tell us why we are here and so on. So we want to welcome Miss Joan Moses to our show, and we ask that you stay put as we conduct an interview.
Okay, nice.
Good evening.
Hi, Emo.
How are you?
I'm there.
I know. So
And guys, there's sympathy to this young lady, Miss Moses or Mrs. Moses. Sympathy, accept my sympathy. Um, I know it's a very difficult time right now that you're going through. Losing a loved one, much less to losing your mom, is already a difficult task. But losing your mom in that situation can be very, very hurtful process to go through. Sorry again, I apologize. Yeah, because I sympathize most. I want to say another point. I sympathize with you in this situation.
Joan is a teacher by profession. She works at the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School. Joan, on Monday, where were you when you heard that news?
Oh, also it's on Monday. So last week Monday that wasn't developed.
I was at home.
You was at home. Tell us about your mom.
Um, my mom was not a troublemaker. I'll start with that because it's the reason I'm trying to figure out why all this happened. She was a person who loved walking. She was a people person.
But another thing I'm gonna ask you, because um, I should let the interview go on, but I have to ask this question, and I want it. Well, I can put it out there. So, Miss Joan Moses' mom is suffering from dementia. The question I'm gonna ask: was her mom living together with her, or was her mom living on her own. Now, seeing that she had dementia is very dangerous for her mom to be living on her own. So then probably some other family member is maybe the better question to ask. And then my second thing I would like to ask is, so then how is it? Was there a missing persons report? Because if 24 hour you have not seen or heard your mom, then obviously then the next, knowing that she has dementia, the next step to that would have been a missing persons report, and the next, and then having that going out. So then I'm not sure if I remember seeing that missing persons report or a persons report recently, but missing persons report. But let's continue. Let's see what's going on.
She loved visiting her family, loved going by her friends. She was just that kind of person who would not look anybody any harm.
So and on Monday, what happened when you got that news? I mean, where were you? How did you feel? Who broke the news to you?
Well, I don't really know if I want to go back there, but it just was not a pleasant feeling. It was a feeling of shock because
I can
it's not
totally
that she
understand
was
that.
ill or anything, so it was just a total shock.
So, based on police reports, her mom was discovered by a swimmer. I think he was a diver and he was at Toucarie Bay diving and he discovered her mom body underneath the sea. From all reports, she was tied to a block.
Oh wow.
Joan, any leads so far into as to whether
But I feel like as if the question that they should be asking is, when last did you see your mom? And anyways, I'm not the police, and I'm the interviewer, but I would have been asking those questions because you need to find out the timeline. How long was the body under the water? Um, was the decomposition of the body, and all those things? You have to ask those questions as well, in terms of finding out what happened. Because when you can say, if it's 2 weeks or maybe yesterday, then somebody can pinpoint. Oh well, Mister was over there or whatever, whoever. You have to be very transparent now that you're in this situation for results to happen. But if, again, that is if her mom lived with her. If her mom did not live with her, then they have to ask. And she was living with somebody else, and they would have to ask the other person those questions. So this is just
they have any suspects?
Um, no comment on that question
No
anymore.
comment. What would you like to say to the public in terms of, being aware of what happened?
Um, I just want to ask persons if you know anything, if you had seen anything, to please just go to the police and just let them know. I know it's a challenge because you don't want to be involved in the courts. I know you don't probably want people to know it's you who said that you saw something, but it could be your aunt or your mom or your sister. It
yeah,
could be
yeah,
anybody in your family.
definitely.
So please just share the information if you know anything.
So this is a plea to the general public. If you see something, if you saw something, if you heard anything, please contact the police. It is very hard. It's a very trying time for her family. So please, if you know anything, at least we need to get justice for her mom.
Interestingly, though, I need to make mention of this. When I heard about that incident, well, last Monday, I remember that there was a body of a toddler or an infant washed up around Thibault area, that Thibault Penville area. And there was no follow-up reports what investigators got from that. So then these kind of things that is bringing a bad taste right now, because we had this probably 4 to 5 year old body washed up from the water. Now it could be from a passing vessel, it could be from a very bad circumstance. We don't know, but the mere fact that there was not a follow-up report regarding that situation leaves a bad taste in my. It is not making any sense, and I know Dominica has a lot of limited resources in terms of in doing proper investigation. Um, the first thing I would have to ask is, do we have a database that we could run that DNA from the toddler that was found? Do we have those technologies? I don't think so. And I'm not too sure that they can run that DNA against the database in Dominica to see if that person, at least that child, has been registered in Dominica. Um, Once that happens, then you can run that. You have that DNA sample. You call neighboring islands and see if that happens. You see it match up. Then if you call Guadeloupe, you call Martinique, see if those things match up. No, then you probably would say, okay, well, we've done this or we've done that, and to no avail. But I know to a fact that we don't have those things in that capacity. So then, it leaves a bad taste. How are the investigators going to solve this issue when we are so limited in resources? I don't want to give anybody bad taste. It's a very bad situation, so to speak, and nobody has a right to take one's life. But, this is where we are. This is where we are.
I know it's a very difficult situation, especially you don't want to go to the police, you're scared, but maybe you can confide in someone.
And if you have any information that can assist investigators with the investigation, please, do so. I think there is a hotline you can call, and you can make that. There's a hotline you can call and make an anonymous. You can always make an anonymous lead or give anonymous information. Yeah, persons who have to know is you, but you want to put yourself in that situation. God forbid, if it was my friend or if it was my mom or whatever the case may be, then I would have loved that piece of information that can probably help investigators solve those issues. But again, there probably might be some more specific information that might help persons, even if you don't know who may have done that. But you can probably put a timeline to things that can be better. Let's continue with the interview.
Pick up the phone. If at all you know anything about this crime, please contact the police. And that is why we have this live here tonight, to urge the public, especially those in the neighboring communities of Toucarie,
Yeah,
Tatan,
definitely.
Savantai. I mean, I'm not saying somebody from that area did it. However, if you're aware of,
And again, sometimes, the criminals are very intelligent these days. So definitely, as Emma just mentioned, she's not saying that the person could be from the neighboring communities that could have done it. It could have been a complete and total stranger, so to speak, because the heart of man, you understand, you have to realize that the heart of man is exceedingly above all, is very wicked. So then, any information you have, any strange things out of the ordinaries, you can please give some information on.
who did it, or if you see someone, or if you know something, please don't hold that information. Please share it with the public. So, John, we want to continue to pray for you. We ask the public to keep her in your prayers. You are not the only daughter, right?
No,
How
there are
many
two of us.
two of you all? So
Oh
please
wow.
keep the family in your prayers. It's a very sad time for them, and all they're asking for is to come forward if you know of anything. Do you have any final comments?
Yes, to anyone who may be thinking of hurting such a person, my mother had started losing her memory. She had dementia. We know of persons who may be in such a condition, and I know there's a lot of evil out there, but persons taking advantage of such persons, let's just be a community. Let's just be like we were before and look out for each other and just take care of each other. Sometimes it may be a family member of yours, like I said earlier. It may be your mom, your sister, your aunt, somebody who may be in need of care.
Definitely.
You
I
know, let's
understand
open
what you're
our
saying,
eyes
sister.
to look for such persons and just let's just care more for each other.
Mm-hmm.
This type of crime should not be happening to anyone, much less for somebody who was 72. My mom would have been 73 in December, and
Oh,
she did
wow.
not look anybody any trouble. She was not a person who would have gone to initiate anything like that. So please, please, anyone who is looking now, if you have information, please aid the police in their investigation. Thank you to all of those who have been supportive so far, and thank you for those who have been praying. Continue to pray. Thank you.
So there you have it. Joan Moses, a teacher at the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School.
Definitely, this is a very sad situation, and again, I sympathize with the family of Joan Moses for the passing of her mom. Um, Without a doubt, I believe her mom was murdered. Hoping that they can get justice. Hoping that they can get justice. Guys, this is the end of the reaction. Just a quick little recap. Her mom's body was found discovered in the sea, attached to a portion of concrete. When the diver discovered the body, diver called investigators, police. They came, the body was identified to be her mom of 72 years of age. She suffered from a medical condition, dementia, where she was losing her mind, losing her memory. So she was part of the most vulnerable in our communities, and it grieves me that persons would identify our most vulnerable in our communities and abuse them, and to that degree. It's just crazy. But this is the end of the video. So like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that post notification bell so you can be notified every time we post or upload. Focus with Fido is out.